So hi everyone. Today we are going to see principles of design. So let's talk about composition first. What is a composition in art? What's composition? Never thought about it?
Is it like the makeup of something?
Huh?
Makeup of something?
Yeah, make up something. Yes. Yes, that's right. To design something in art, right?
That's
What
right.
else? Mm-hmm. What else?
Is it the different materials used?
Yes, it can be the material, yeah, to create a great composition. Yes, very good. So, um, so composition is a significant part in art. Composition is the overall design or organization of a work. Oops. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hi, Professor.
Hi. Okay. So we just talked about the composition. So in other words, composition is the organization of all the visual elements within a work of art. So artists design their compositions using guideline known as the principles of design. So today we're going to see the principles of design to create compositions. So first, unity and variety. And the next one is balance. And the third one is scale and proportion. And fourth one is emphasis and subordination. And the last one is pattern and rhythm. So artist.
I have a
Okay.
question. We should write this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you should. Oh, someone answered about the composition. Dana, yeah, very good. Experiencing technical difficulties. Yes, yes, it is. So many of artists use and consider about this principles of design to create great composition. So we're gonna see the first three principles of design today. So unity and the variety, balance, and scale and proportion. So let's see in detail. So the unity. So unity is sense of oneness. So things belongings together and making up a coherent whole. So there are three types of unity. So first one is compositional unity. And the second one is conceptual unity. And the last one is gestalt unity. So many of artists use one of these unity when they create a work of art. So let's see what these are. So an artist creates compositional unity by organizing all the visual aspects of a work. So these three similar diagrams are illustrating the idea of compositional unity. So look at this A composition. So it consists of all the square or rectangle shape in it. So that makes a perfect unity. However, it looks kind of boring, right? And let's look at this B diagram. So it has diverse shapes like a circle and rectangle. All the shapes are different size. And their their positioning in random. So it looks like now the lack of unity in the B. However, C, let's look at the C diagram. So by moving this, the bottom thick line to this, this line make a, connect this bottom triangle and the middle rectangle, that this line is connect these two shapes and make a flow to the up with the similar shape. So that makes variety and unity at the same time in this composition. So many of artists considered the compositional unity when they make a work of art.
So, Professor, like, what gives it the idea of unity? Is it because like we're connecting the shapes?
Yes. So connecting, it can be object or it can be the positioning. So everything, so by the positioning the object on the work of art, so that called the compositional unity. Kiyasha, can you hear me? You said you cannot hear anyone speaking at all. So let me resume the recording. So let's look at an actual example with the compositional unity. So the artist used the elements of art to create compositional unity in this work of art. So this painting's chaotic scene of shipwrecked man on a raft in the turbulent sea is unified by its strong composition. So we learned the line shows the movement in the last class, right? So we learned a horizontal line and vertical line and diagonal line. So which line can you find in this work of art?
Diagonal?
Diagonal, yes. Is diagonal, yes. Lots of diagonals, a lot. So this implied diagonal lines created by the man's dying bodies, the raft's mess, and arms reaching out for rescue form an X shape that provides a strong framework for the figures and heightens dynamic intensity. So many of artists, they think about the compositional unity when they make a work of art. And here's different way to unite with concept. So for example, there are diverse images here, right? And I set conceptual idea as full bloom. So I picked 3 images like flower full bloom and cauliflowers full bloom and sea anemones full bloom. So it seems like there's no connection between these 3 images. However, these are conceptually united. So the conceptual links that artists make between symbols and ideas derive from the collective experiences of their culture. So these influences both the means that artists use to create unity and the viewers' interpretations of the work. So, excuse me. So this is an actual example with the conceptual unity. So it is Joseph Cornell's mixed media work. So his work seems to suggest mysterious ideas and elusive feelings. So what can you see in this work of art? What's the subject in this work of art?
It's like the parrot's intelligence. You asked what I can see. I can see squares and like
Yeah.
diagonal lines. and
Yeah.
it seems like they're connecting.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a circle on the top.
Oh, circle. Yes.
Yeah.
You saw a circle. There is a ball, right?
Yeah.
Above the bird, right? There is a bird. Yes. So these are the main theme of this work of art. Can you guess what's the theme?
Everything is connected to one another, that's for sure.
They are conceptually connected. This ball and the bird is conceptually united.
It's like when he pulls the string, the ball is gonna come closer.
Oh, very good guess, but it's not. So look at this ball. Huh? Did someone say something? No? All right. So let's look at this yellow ball. So where is it?
It's being held by two sticks.
Yes, yes. So the ball is on the rail, the two rails, right? And you can just move it, it can just move back and forth, right? In this rail. This ball cannot go anywhere except for this rail. Now, how about this bird?
So it's like how the cage is also bird. I mean, how the bird is also caged.
Very good. Very good. So the bird is in the cage. So the bird cannot go anywhere either, right? So the artist want to talk about the freedom now with this, the bird with the ball. So the ball cannot go anywhere. So there's no freedom with the ball. And also the bird, it doesn't have freedom. It has to live in the cage. So these two objects are conceptually united in terms of the freedom. And the last unity is Gestalt unity. So Gestalt, a German word for form or shape, refers to a work of art in which the whole seems greater than the sum of its parts. So this is Vishnu dreaming the universe, which is a relief panel from Temple of Vishnu in India. Excuse me. So we can discover the many faces of Gestalt. Lots of similar faces here. So by examining the ancient Hindu relief Vishnu dreaming the universe. So in this stone carving, the abundance of human figures surrounds a much larger reclining figure, and this is the god Vishnu dreaming. So basically, this work is made with the similar figures, right? The repetition of the figures, they look similar. So that's the Gestalt unity. And now let's see variety. So variety is opposite meaning of the unity. So variety is differences that provide interest and contrast in art. So in art, variety is a collection of ideas, elements, or materials that are fused together into one design. So variety can invigorate a design. This example shows a composition of shapes set into a rectangle on a grid like this. And even though the grid structure is predictable, the variety of shapes and values and counteracts the rigid structure. So many artists use this kind of variety of expression energy that would be lost if there were too much unity. Variety is the artist's way of giving a work of art a jolt. So unity is the sense of oneness, and the variety is the differences in art. So looks like a totally opposite concepts. However, all artworks includes unity and variety together. So let's look at this painting, this abstract painting by Jackson Pollock. So Paul Jackson Pollock was an American painter and a major figure in the abstract expressionist movement. He was widely noticed for his technique of pouring or splashing liquid household paint onto a horizontal surface. And that technique is called action painting. So can you find the unity and the variety in this painting?
Could the unity be some of the colors?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's red and yellow and white and black.
Maybe that can be
They touch each
variety.
other, Yeah,
Yeah. Huh?
they touch each other.
Yeah.
Colors.
Mm-hmm.
You see lines everywhere.
Yeah. How about the unity? What is the unity in this painting?
I would say how they're all like together.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
The way, he created the, splashing shape on the canvas. Yes. Yes, that's right. So when we see this whole painting, we can see the oneness by using the same technique on the canvas. So we can see Pollock repeated splashing paint with lots of layers. But when you see it closer, we can see this splashed paint's colors are different and the sizes and shapes are in random. So that factors make the variety. So the Pollock painting has unity and variety at the same time. So here's another example. So what's the unity and the variety in this work of art?
Well, the unity is like everything is together again,
Yeah,
And they all-
yeah.
like
they
next
all
to
on
each other.
squares.
Huh?
Yes.
Put them
They're all in frames.
squares.
Oh, yes, yes. That can be one of the, unity, yes.
Could the unity be they're all body parts, but the variety could be they're not within like the order of how a body should be organized?
Very good. Then how about the variety? What's the variety in this work of art?
The different pictures.
Very good. Yes, the different pictures. And one more.
Where the pictures are placed, like in length.
Very good. Yes, the positioning of the pictures in random. Yes, that can be make a variety to make an interest in this work of art. Very good. So let's move on to the next principle, balance. So balance refers to an apparent heaviness and lightness of forms arranged in composition. So there are two types of balance of art. So the first one is symmetrical balance, and the other one is asymmetrical balance. So let's see what these are. So symmetrical balance is the mirror image of shapes or forms on either side of an imaginary axial dividing line. So the elements correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. So let me show you examples. So look at this pattern image. So there is an imaginary vertical axial on the center of this image. So and the left side of the vertical axial correspond to the right side image. So that is called symmetrical balance. And here's another example. So there is an imaginary horizontal axial on the center of this work. And the top part of the axial correspond to the bottom part. So this is asymmetrical balance. Now let's see asymmetrical balance. So asymmetrical balance is two sides that do not correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. So mostly many of artists use these 6 types of asymmetrical balance. So these are the most popular form of asymmetrical balance. So the first one is, so there is a large light shape on the left side, and on the right side, there is a small light form. So a large form is visually heavier than the smaller form. So this is one of the asymmetrical balance type. And let's see number 2. So one is dark form and the other one is bright form, but the form size is same. However, the dark valley form is visually heavier than a light valley form of the same size. And there is a textured form on the left side, and there is a just plain form on the right side. So even though the size of these forms are same, the textured form looks heavier than the plain form. And number 4. So these form size are looks similar, but the left one has the complex form. So the left one looks heavier than the right one. And number 5. So 2 or more small forms can be balanced. A larger one. And the last one, a small dark form can balance a larger light form. So let's see the examples with the this typical types of asymmetrical balance. So this is Pablo Picasso's painting, A Girl Before a Mirror in 1932. Can you guess which types of asymmetrical balance Pablo Picasso used in this painting? So let me show you the option again. So we just saw 6 options. And let's see the real artwork again. So which asymmetrical balance he used?
Complex form,
Huh?
complex form,
Complex form.
and
Oh,
simple form.
very close.
I
Very
was saying
close.
dark
Number
form.
Dark
five.
form on
Dark-
the
Yeah,
lower
number
right side.
5.
Number 2, right? Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. Very good. So the left woman and the woman in the mirror, the sizes look similar. But
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
she
I
was
can
in the
see
mirror. I
that.
thought it was like I thought it was like the same thing in both sides, but I didn't know it was in the mirror. I would thought that it was just a little different.
Yeah, it's a cubism. It's hard to see, the actual, the shapes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very confused, I know. So, the left one is bright and the right one is dark. So it can be the second types of asymmetrical balance. Very good. And here's another example. So this is Gustav Klimt oil painting. So can you guess which asymmetrical type Gustav Klimt used in this work of art? So I will show you the options again. So here's the options.
Number 1, large form, smaller form.
Oh, I was so close.
Oh, number 6.
Yes.
Number 6. It's large and smaller, but also dark and light.
That's right. Yes, that's right. So
Also, okay.
yeah.
So we gotta look at that also, the color.
Yeah. So there is a, bright, large chunk on the right side. And there is a small, dark form on the left side. So it can be the 6th asymmetrical balance feature. Very good. And here is the tricky one. Can you guess which asymmetrical balance applied in this Oriental painting?
Light to dark?
Oh, light to dark. Yes, very close. But use your creativity,
Mm.
So you should use this whole background.
Uh,
So let me show you the options again.
okay.
Yeah.
5.
Either complex and simple, because there's some-
3. Number
Small,
3.
dark,
Number
and
3.
large
Okay.
light.
Everything.
3.
Three.
It can be everything. Okay, so I will let you know. So this, there is a, dark and small form on the top corner, right? And there is a large empty area with the bright, with, it's just empty. So using, light, it's using the light papers, area. So it can be the 6th asymmetrical balance form like this, small dark and the large light large form. It was a tricky one like this. All right, so let's move on to the next principle, scale and proportion. So scale is the size of an object or artwork relative to another object or artwork or to a system of measurement. And proportion. So proportion refers to size relationships between parts of a whole or between 2 or more items perceived as a unit. So scale and proportion both have to do with size. So the scale of a work of art communicates ideas. Small scale pieces force viewers to come in close to experience the artwork. A small scale work implies intimacy. a large scale works can be experienced by groups of viewers and usually communicate big ideas directed at a large audience. So here is an example to use the scale. So this is David statue in 1501 to 1504 by Michelangelo. So he was one of the Renaissance master and a rival of Leonardo da Vinci. So this is a biblical episode, and Michelangelo depicted David for his victory after a battle with Goliath. So Michelangelo's David, statue looks like a hero and grandeur. And this statue is much larger than life size because there is a people. No. So because Michelangelo used a monumental scale for indicating heroism. So like this David statue, scale can be used for showing a meaning in art. And here's another types of scale. So this palette is this is Palace of Narmer by ancient Egypt. So this is more popular as Narmer's pose, which is typical of Egyptian art. So this, the largest figure is the Narmer. So he must be, the subject in this work of art. So when depicting an important personage, the Egyptian artists strove to show each part of the body to best advantage so that it could be read clearly by the viewer. So Narmer's body is seen in profile. So like this, the legs are in profile and the arms are profile, but the torso is full front. And the head, his head is in profile and his eye is front again. So that same pose recurs throughout most two-dimensional art in Egypt. So now let's focus on the size of the figure. So Narmer is obviously larger than other figures, right? So because Narmer is the important figure. So that is a hierarchical scale. And here's another scale type, distorted scale. So this is Rene Magritte's painting. So it looks like natural or not. It doesn't look like natural.
Very disproportional, right? Like all the objects.
Yes, yes. So which objects are distorted scale?
The comb and the glass.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I don't know the name for that makeup thing.
Yeah, the comb, cup, brush, soap. So these are so large, so larger than the furnitures in this room, right? So that makes unusual and very unique work of art. So that is called distorted scale.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
Within the painting, is there a relevance to the reflection of the window on the right side, on the right mirror?
This on the
Yes.
closet. So so this Rene Magritte is a surrealist artist, and they create dreamlike images in their work of art. So this is probably, you can just, think like, this can be a window, by the reflecting from somewhere, but I probably, I guess, Margaret just created this window in some meaning, in some specific meaning, to show it like dreamlike, to go somewhere.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Professor, if she had any intention, like what kind of message she was trying to,
So
give
René
with the
Magritte,
calm and everything?
So René Magritte, the surrealist artists just focus on their superpower or under ego, So there is no specific meaning. They just create like very thought-provoking images through their work of art. So that is very interesting art movement. So we're gonna learn this when we learn 20th century art. This is an amazing artist. All right, so let's see the proportion for the last. So the relationships between the sizes of different parts of a work make up its proportions. By controlling these size relationships, an artist can enhance the expressive and descriptive characteristics of the work. So let's look at this examples to show the proportions. So as size relationships change, the proportion change. So this A vase, so the A shows the profile of a Greek vase. And if we change the width, then like this B, then the vase seems like, elegant and light. And however, when you reduce the height, like this C vase, then the vase seems clumsier and weightier than the original profile. And also, a human's body had a perfect proportion. So this is discovered by the Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance master. So when you straightly open our arm like this image, then the length from the left fingertips to the right fingertips is same as our height, like this. So we can make a perfect square. And then when you open our legs and arms with a certain angle like this, then we can make a perfect circle. So this is called human proportion. And the last one is the golden section. So the Greeks interested in the use of mathematical formulas to determine the perfect proportions has fascinated artists ever since. One of the best known formulas is what has become known since the Renaissance as the golden section. So the golden section is a unique ratio of a line divided into two segments so that the sum of both segments is to the longer segment as the longer segment is to the shorter segment. So the result is 1 to 1.618. So that is golden section, and it was used for this Parthenon in Athens, Greece, constructed by 447 BCE and 438 BCE. So dedicated to the goddess Athena Parthenos, or Athena, the warrior maiden. So this is the most typical architecture to use the golden section. So we're gonna continue to see the rest of the principles of design next week. And we have a discussion related to what we learned today. So this is today's topic of discussion. All right. So choose one of the discussion listed below and explain. So list 5 objects that represent formal or symmetrical balance, or you can choose this, list 5 objects that are an asymmetrical and radial balance. And number 3, list 5 objects that are unity and variety. And number 4, list 5 objects that are scale and proportion. So for example, when you look at this glue, the shape has the symmetrical balance, right? Yeah, or butterfly, it can be symmetrical balance. And or the Apple logo, shows asymmetrical balance because the right side is the regular apple shape and one side is a bited shape. So like that. Yeah. So find 5 objects now, one of these, and post it by tonight. And by tomorrow, please reply to your peers.